Now in this video I have a Panasonic, another one of these Hifi machines, I think Z mechanism. This is an NV-HD630, slightly different to the last one I looked at. I don't know what's really the difference with it. Long run head system, it's a 6-head long play, which Hifi stereo, I think the other one was multi-system. Not sure if the other one said, well, they probably all had G-code by then. Hyper cable TV ready. Lumina head cleaner, auto tuning, easy guide OSD. I think it's pretty much the same. It's got Sydney 2000, Team Millennium Olympic partner, so probably came out around that time, I guess. SPLP standard long. Yeah, not sure if there's really much difference. Still supposed to be made in Japan. So I guess I'll power the thing up to see if it actually is meant to be working condition, this one. And no, we don't have any channel. Oh, there they are. Changes channels through a couple of them. Have a look inside the thing. Another dirty head cleaner in it. Bit of muck on the drum, to say the least, quite a bit around the heads themselves. Bit on the capstan, but not too bad. Some hairs or something in there, but not too bad a condition by the look of it. I guess we'll put a tape in and see what it does. Such a plastic film thing there. Seems to at least work mechanically. Oh, well, I'll hook that to the TV and see what it does. Yeah, that seems to be working alright. Let's see if the fast forward and stuff's working. Got the remote for it. It's got a number on it. Oh, there it is, a VEQ2309. Oh yeah, 30. I think it's a 30-minute tape. This it's not very long, so it's not going to speed for long. See if it at least gets to the end. Perfect. Oh, well, it looks like it just needs a heat clean and away it'll go. Very dirty heads in it. Or at least around the heads were very dirty. Comes off easy though, is one good thing. And do the lower drum, rotating the heads out of the way as I do. guides are clean. The race head's always worth going over. Looks to have plenty of grease in this thing still. Yeah, this capstan comes off clean, so I don't think this one's had an awful lot of use. Maybe they bought it towards the end of the VCR era and weren't a big user. So I might have got lucky and got a low hours one, because usually it's pretty hard to get off the capstan if it's had any real use. Yeah, there is a hair, another hair stuck in there. I think that's a different one. Probably cat hair or something, looking at it. Dog or cat, whitish colour one. And there was one, there's a little bit there. Yeah, a bit under there. I probably should have actually turned the power off on this, because some of these machines, if you're messing around with them with the power on these modern ones and you block one of the end sensors, it'll try and load the tape or something. This Panasonic seems to be pretty well behaved though. But you do have to watch that. And of course, keep my hands well away from the power supply on the end. And all other parts of my arm. Yeah, that's quite good condition. A little bit of muck down there, something on the below the tape part of the lower drum. I don't know what that was. And probably the other thing I'll do is pop that tape cleaner out of there. And that's actually a good sign that this machine hasn't done a lot of work, because that's actually not in bad condition. Out of interest, I think you can actually clean these a bit if you want to, but I'm not sure how effective they are. I mean, the heads in this had plenty of muck around the heads and probably on them as well, so I'm not sure they're that good, but that one is so little used. Oh, there's a bit of white stuff coming off it, probably because I put the methane on. That's actually like new again almost. Yeah, I could almost, might even put that one back in. It's actually not that bad. Probably doesn't hurt to have it in there if it's in good condition. If they're really dirty and start to fall to bits or anything, definitely not a good idea. Let's see if the remote actually runs this thing. Not changing channel so far. Are we on VCR? Yeah. It turns it off. Channel up down doesn't seem to work. And direct channel buttons maybe work. Oh yeah, they work. Input select sort of reluctantly works. Channel up down. Down did work a little bit. Volume up down, I guess that's if you've got a TV. G code. In this case, you really got to check every button. Just seems to be the channel up down, which makes you wonder if it's not a function thing. Menu, enter, repeat doesn't seem to want to work. Yes, it does. I think I was just getting too low. And oof. Fast forward's maybe a bit dicky. Seems a little reluctant, so this may need pulling apart and cleaning. And we've got some more down here. No, that's pretty good. Not much point using the channel buttons on one anyway, since there's no analog channels anymore. Yeah, that should all be running now, I think. I'll give that a good test run. I've got all three Back to the Future videos for like $1 each, so I thought I'll grab them on VHS and watch them again. So that'd be a good way to test this thing out, make sure it's right. Okay, just to finish the video off, I thought I'd compare the two. The other one is the 675, so that's the 630 on the bottom. And you've basically got the same AV sockets. All these badges roughly say the same thing, I think. This has got a long run head system label. That's got a Sydney 2000 Team Millennium Olympics label. This one's got the jog shuttle type setup with the inner rotary bit as well, with all the buttons around it. This one's just got one of these sort of round things. Search, fast forward, rewind, stop and play. Timer record in the same spot. That one's got pause. It's got the search button there, so pause is about the only thing different. And that says SPLP standard long. That's got it down there. Play off, time or whatever is there. So yeah, basically the same machine in many ways. I don't know if there's any real difference in these. I guess you'd have to look at the manual. It's probably just like a little facelift thing or something. So assume they started off with the sort of boring old buttons and they thought, oh, let's put a jog shuttle thing on there, make it look more like a professional machine or something. I don't know, I suspect they're basically the same thing. It's a bit like cars. They make you buy one and then do a facelift on it and just tart it up a little bit to make it look a bit better, but it's otherwise exactly the same thing. All the sockets, so it's probably the same boards inside, maybe except for the front panel's just been changed around. Not sure if the actual jog shuttle thing does jog shuttle type where you just would pause it and then you could go frame by frame. Possible it does. Not sure if they have that on here anywhere. They don't show it, or is it under here somewhere? Yeah, I don't see any. We've got index search. Not sure what happens when you put these in pause. It's got a frame on the actual pause. So maybe on that other machine, if you hit pause, it'll go frame by frame. One of those sort of features that are cool when you first see them and then you never use them again normally. Some people probably do, but most people I don't think ever touched it again. But yeah, other than that, I think the whole back panel's basically moulded the same. Yeah, I can't see any differences on the back of the machine except one hasn't been dusted. So they got the same. Yeah, they're all on UHF out by the look of it. Anyway, I thought it'd just be worth a look. Probably the same top cover. Looks to be. They've just changed a few things on the front board. And yeah, maybe this one came out a year or two later and they just did it to update the things. I know they seem to have put out a lot of different versions of these machines. The KMEX and then these ZMEC things seem to come out in endless varieties. Every one you saw seemed to be a slightly different model to the one before. I'm not sure if they went quite as silly with these. Obviously these only had like a 5-year lifespan, I guess, but that's probably about what the KMEC had as well. Sort of mid-90s to the end of the 90s, and then these came out somewhere around 2000, I think. And I would say they were probably largely gone by around 2005 or something. Most VCR manufacturers ceased around then sometime. But they might have gone on a few years past that, I'm not 100% sure. Most of them went to the VCR DVD combos. And they were normally a Hifi VCR with DVD player. So they sort of took over from sort of, yeah, around the 2005 to, I guess around 2008 was the last time I was really doing any repairs in the industry. And there was still a lot of DVD, VCR combos, but they were getting cheaper and cheaper, so you saw less and less of those. But anyway, interesting just to have a look and compare the two. Basically, I think we can say these are the same machines. I did find the earlier 630 works really well. I ran a few tapes through that, not a single problem with it whatsoever. This other one did seem to have a few. I was going through getting some adverts off some old videotapes, and I had trouble tracking some of them. I reverted back to the mono machine, and I did play a movie through this, and it did drop out in a few places. Not sure if it was a tracking issue or something else. I don't think that one's running 100%. Not sure why. It's got some sort of intermittent issue. Maybe it is a bit out of alignment somewhere or something. It certainly didn't like some of these tapes that were recorded. Not sure why the same person had a few tapes that were out in the tracking. Maybe they had more than one VHS machine. But it certainly couldn't track certain things, and I put them in the old 430 or whatever it was, the mono machine, and it tracked them fine. With these, if you want to do manual tracking, you just use the channel up down button once it's in play mode. And that's your tracking. I think it's the same on the remote. We use those up down. that will manually adjust the track, and they sort of meant to auto track. But if you get a really bad tape and they don't track it in, you could just get in on either the front panel or the remote and just press up and down, and it'll sort of cycle right through back to where it was, I think. But either way, you should be able to get some of the tracking lines out of the image, or if it's a bit jittery or whatever, you can manually override it, which is good. But that's those for now. I think we'll treat that one as a bit suspicious, and I'll have to maybe play that a bit more and try it out and see if it does have issues. But the bottom one, the later one I've got, seems to run absolutely fine, which is good. So thanks for watching.